Hey everybody! Welcome back to Northern Land Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Easy wins, easy life. Last run we had some questionable moments towards the end, but apart from that, nothing too big to worry about. Terrible starting stats, terrible active item, but we do have Headless Baby for a little bit of a buff. ENRH, TDVQ, and then the D12. Which actually could be okay. Hear me out here. The D12 is like an ideal item to get on a floor where we also have Anarchist Cookbook, I feel. Let's re-roll these rocks. I was hoping maybe we get some tinted rocks out of it, but the scenario that I'm trying to create here is one in which we re-roll some rocks into tinted rocks, and then we explode the tinted rocks, if necessary, with Anarchist Cookbook, because we have 0 bombs right now. So this room is definitely a huge candidate for that coming right up. And we'll see what else happens, I suppose. But I'm obviously, maybe it's not obvious, but it should be obvious. I'm not thrilled with our current selection of items, but we at least have some ways to kind of improve ourselves right now. Another thing that D12 can be pretty good for is finding money. Tends to be a little bit easier to get money when you have the D12 because you're creating a lot of pots and stuff like that. But really, we should be standing here. This will allow us to get 3 cents instead of 2. We could use Hangman and just, taking care of it, but I don't think that's necessarily the right idea either. I do have to say thank you for giving us Headless Baby. It really does make a surprisingly large difference to just be able to, because the enemies that are going to be most dangerous right now are going to be enemies that rush us down, for the most part. So to be able to, ooh, this could be a great room for this, but to be able to have a defense against enemies that rush us down is pretty important, I think, if we're going to have a short-term chance of success. Long-term, our chances, of course, depend on much more. But for our immediate concerns here, certainly we're going to want to make sure that we can do something in the short term to make sure that we don't die. We're definitely going to re-roll the rocks on this room. It's not like the boss fight is going to have more rocks, so re-roll this. And again, it's all about money. If we can get over 5 cents here, or sorry, over 15 cents, that would be a dream come true. It's all about cash in abundance. People I used to run with are rich or doing years in the hundreds. I switched my motto. Instead of saying F tomorrow, that buck that bought the bottle could have struck the lotto. Nos. Life's a Bitch. I was trying to remember what song it was, but it's definitely Life's a Bitch. I can't believe we've only gotten 2 cents out of this right now. I mean, we could re-roll the rocks again, but we've already killed so many of the rocks that I kind of feel like it's fairly unlikely to be meaningful, but, there's probably no better opportunity than right now to do this, so, and who knows, maybe there's a black market hiding in one of these. Doesn't seem like it, though. Alright, in case it doesn't go without saying, not overjoyed with the outcome of how the D12 has worked for us, but if it ever gives us some tinted rocks, then it's all been worth it. And honestly, fighting Steven is fairly safe for us here as a result of the fact that we have Headless Baby. Regular size Steven is going to be no worries. Smaller size Steven might be a slight worry as a result of the fact that he doesn't get hit by the Headless Baby creep, but man, we could really use a lot of things. I'm going to say that we don't need HP. Spirit Hearts would be lovely, but I don't think we need HP. I think, if anything, we need DPS. I'll settle for Tears right now, because it's much more likely than, regular damage to come out anyway. So, Little Steven, I mean, I guess now that I think about it, I should have known that we were probably going to get it either way. Little Steven or regular Steven, but this is fine. I didn't go to the shop on the last floor because I wanted to save our arcade chances here. And so far, it's going according to plan. There's our arcade right there. I don't really want to play it yet, but it's still, I think, sensible what we've done here. And Forever Alone is actually a really good get for us, especially when our damage is, not 1 Tears upgrade away from being good. We're way more than that away from, like, a successful setup, probably. So I think it's smart to do what we're doing right now. And this is, like, a relatively static damage improver. And we don't have to be standing right next to an enemy in order to hit them, which I think is pretty much equally valuable right now. Still waiting on a Spirit Heart, though. This ended up being a pretty good gamble. Hey, cat, get off my desk. You think you're too good for the box? We got 2 boxes. One cat's already sleeping in a box. Yo, I'm too good for the box? You're not too good for the box. The box is for cats. Well, no Spirit Hearts, but we do get a small rock from that tinted rock regardless. And I think we just go for the KO right here, honestly. If we can get Little Horn killed and get a 1 heart deal with the devil, and then get some spirit hearts, maybe on the shop afterwards. Oh my god, I ruined it! I got too close! Ain't it good to be alive? But I mean, we're still alive, which is great, but I probably, or guaranteed, did screw up our deal with the devil chance there, so I fucked up the Isaac flowchart. We're kind of in, like, uncharted territory here. Literally, the flowchart does not plan for this. Good news is, 1 spirit heart gives us a pretty good chance of getting a deal with the devil on the next floor, but this is a bit of a bummer. Some pots, at least. Right. Great. Fantastic. Can we at least get some TNT explosions here? Yeah, that's probably better. It's probably better to have Burnt Penny right now. We can get into the boss trap room as a result of our relatively low HP and the fact that there's almost certainly a blood bank available. What a tiny floor. Yeah, okay. We're gonna get more bombs out of this, so I think this is very sensible. Let's get blue map, because the secret room, you never know if that's gonna, you know, contain the difference maker here. And then I'm gonna throw down another bomb, and again, it's basically, we can just keep milking the donation machine as long as we want here, but I don't really want to go that hard on it. I just want to put ourselves in a position where we can do that, and then we will go to our secret room, we'll go play the blood bank a little bit, and then we'll go into that boss trap room and hope for some good stuff. Just checking. I thought maybe, just maybe, we could make that work without having to spend a bomb, but instead we get a battery charge, and I think, you know, there you go. We've now created exclusively TNT. And we're gonna play this pretty aggressively. I think you have to be okay with going with the IV bag. The D12 has not done anything for us thus far. I think you gotta be okay with sticking with the IV bag for now. We got some extra HP out of that. Do I use bombs? I don't think we need to use a bomb on Monstro, honestly. Monstro should be relatively easy to take down regardless. And then maybe you want to use a bomb on Larry Jr., but honestly, Headless Baby counters Larry Jr. pretty hard. As long as we can get, like, a pretty nice area of coverage on creep here, then it's fine. More bombs. Okay. Well, this situation could be better, but it certainly could be worse as well. Hopefully, this Spirit Heart protects us enough that on the next floor we can really start to pop off. I mean, we do have access to our second secret room, inside of which we find, okay, an Eternal Heart, pretty good. And damage between Small Rock and Growth Hormones is relatively solid for us. So, in the end, I think I have to consider that that floor is relatively positive, but, you know, anything that's negative about that floor, I have to put on my own, you know, it's my own fault, basically, is what I'm trying to say, but I can't get the words out. Wow, that was actually terrible damage. Let's just cool it here. 1 makes you small, huge pickup. And by huge pickup, I mean marginally improves our chances of winning, or at least provides us with slightly more entertainment value in the process of a loss. Another pill. Money's good. Definitely, like, a key to open a golden chest is fine for us, because even if it only gives us money, that means that money is liable to give us bombs. If we get money and bombs, it's very easy for us to get enough money to go into our shop, as long as we've got the keys necessary to get in there. And if we can get in there, we can buy a key if there's one for sale. I mean, I'm hedging a lot of bets here, but at the same time, I think it's fairly sensible. Red hearts? No red hearts. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Just do that. And then probably we should still do this. I'm pretty happy with that decision as well. 2 black hearts out of the curse room there. I was just trying to do the math. I'm like, why did we only get a black heart and a half? But I guess it's because we were at half of a spirit heart when we went in there. Or I mistimed it. But I think we must have been at half a spirit heart when we went in there, so it only filled in 1.5. Which is fine, you know. We're still getting the equivalent of 2 black hearts in terms of offensive damage. Which is the real, you know, value there. Not very smart of me to just continue firing, but that's okay. We found the secret room. I accidentally bought a pill. It's 48-hour energy. That's not what I was looking for. So we will just go a little harder on our donation machine now. And again, I hate to mess with our donation machine, but at the same time, it's doing a lot of good stuff in terms of giving us bombs. So I'm not going to rock the boat too much. We'll take theirs options, which I think is going to be extremely useful. And we will take the Spirit Heart as well, because we should have a near guaranteed chance at a deal with the devil in here. Okay, more bombs is good. Honestly, the way to success on this run might be bomb synergies at this point. We're getting a lot of bombs, and that's not looking like it's going to change anytime soon. Bloody Lust would also be amazing. We haven't seen our item room on this floor, so it's a possibility. But we could, you know, turn this into like a pseudo-Samson run. She's got the power of the Samson. She's got the pseudo-Samson. Nah, it doesn't work. Fever for the flavor, hot action cop. It's been a long time since that was a reference that we used on the regular on the NLSS. It was back in like the Counter-Strike Global Offensive days. Ooh, should not have placed that bomb there. First off, it didn't hit the enemy. Secondly, it very nearly took me out. Of these, I guess you take Placenta. Sometimes it's bad, but this time it's going to synergize, I think, pretty nicely with IV Bag. And we'll take both. You know, Guppy's Tail can be okay for us, and it's a Guppy item. But the big deal there, I think, was Multi-Dimensional Baby, which is going to give us a little bit more damage off of our shots. We got to 16 cents the old-fashioned way this time. Is there anything else we'd like to buy in here? Honestly, I think 3 cents for a Red Heart is very valuable. We got more money out of it, we got a luck upgrade, and we got several bombs. So I think that's pretty good. Anytime we find a 3 cent and you know what? Probably a 5 cent heart is worth it for us if we can find them as well, because the odds of getting bombs are, you know, pretty high. Still lacking a little bit though. We're working towards Guppy, we're working towards Spun, but we don't have an easy beat on either of those right now. We're working towards Guppy and we're working towards Spun. A lot about living and a little about love. Yeah, we'll definitely go back for that. I hate this room, though. It's not that bad, because at least they're not flying, but enemies that, like, consistently rush us down are annoying, and then combine that with them having decently high HP. Some of them are champions, and they shoot bullets when they die, and it's just like an ultimate recipe for bullshit. Peeper's Eye? Well, okay. I mean, I'm not very stoked at all to have this, in all honesty, but it's not necessarily a bad thing to have it. It's just not going to be as good as I wanted our item room to be. I don't know what we're gonna do. I guess we're gonna use Hanged Man to get the rune. It's kind of a weird way to crunch it, but unless we have other options, that seems like the most sensible way to kind of progress here. I tried to shoot the moon there. That's alright. At least we didn't take damage again. It looked like we might. We're gonna be about a minute and a half behind schedule. Let's just use Hanged Man right here. We'll be about a minute and a half behind schedule when it comes to getting into boss rush. I don't think that's bad, but at the same time, I'm looking at this run, even with the Yara rune, and I'm like, I don't know how we pull this one out. We're missing quite a lot. We're 1 floor behind schedule on deals with the devil, which means next floor we got a really high chance to not get a deal with the devil. Apart from that, I mean, like, we got a lot of consumables. At least enough keys to make our money work for us. Bombs are going to be effective. Bomb synergies will be nice, and they're very common. But apart from that, we're kind of just, like, you know, surviving for now. So that's an interesting item in there. Kamikaze. The big deal there is if we can get Pyromaniac, but we'll see. We'll see if that provides us what I'm looking for here. Has Peeper's Eye always been this big? I don't seem to recall Peeper's Eye always being this large, but I could be mistaken. I'll be the first to tell you, I could just be incorrect in that assessment. Oh, this would be an ideal time for a syringe. That's a path to victory. Instead, we get a pill, but the golden chest could be worth it. It wasn't really. We got infested, but at least we can come in here, get this red chest at basically no cost to ourselves, and do the same thing here. Come out. All right. At this point, as much as I normally shit on this item, Spider Baby wouldn't be very bad. You know, anything that gives us advantages for being hit is kind of something that should be in our wheelhouse right now. We're getting enough red hearts. Like, a combination of, like, Little Chad and Spider Baby could be a nice enough damage augment to just keep us going for a while. You know, I'm not saying that that's gonna be what we use against, God forbid, you know, Hush, Boss Rush, Mega Satan, etc., but it might be able to keep us going until we can get something better, which is kind of just all we're holding out for at this point. It's not, I don't want to frame this as if it's like a foregone conclusion that we're going to lose this run. It's just, it's weirdly behind the 8 ball in like almost every respect. So we need more than just, you know, one item to pull us out Pardon me. Unless it's a really, really good item. And Rune Bag is great. It doesn't directly solve our problem right now, but it could indirectly help us in the future, or directly help us in the future. Luck upgrades also valuable, although they tend to pay out a little bit later than we might be happy to see. Hopefully we'll still be alive by then. I don't see a good reason to take Mom's Box of Trinkets here. Like, IV Bag, I still think the fact that it basically generates unlimited bombs for us, or mostly unlimited bombs for us, is more valuable than having a double efficacy trinket. Unless that double efficacy trinket, of course, is Cancer or Curved Horn, and of course, over time, you'd be expecting that that would probably be the case, but if we were actually going to min-max, you know, like Biznap style here, what I would probably do is buy it, because we have so much money, and then go back, not that I'm bragging, but then go back and use, I don't think we can get those, use Mom's box of trinkets as many times as we can with the battery charges that actually exist right now, and hope to get a better trinket, and then maybe just not roll with it in the future, but use it to finance a better trinket existing regardless. So I'm going to use the Onsus because we're rolling Yara anyway. And of course, I'm relatively happy to have an arcade there. I'm not going to worry too much about the min-max. I'm going to save ourselves some time instead. But hilariously, I then probably will spend as many bombs as is necessary to get this thing out, which is annoying, but in the end, actually pretty valuable. Now I will go to the arcade, and I'm way less worried about min-maxing than I am about what this potential deal with the devil may hold, but still, bear with me here. We're getting a lot of value every time we get hit here. Of course, we can only do it twice, but sure. That's 54 bombs, nothing wrong with that. Boss rush is looking relatively unlikely, but honestly, boss rush should be like the least of our worries right now. Another min-maxy type play that I say resort to as if it's a bad thing, but, you know, I just tend to be a little bit more of a by the seat of my pants sort of player here, but if we could play that fortune teller, get a few more spirit hearts, get a better trinket, you know, maybe get crystal ball or something like that, that could improve our chances as well. So as much as I do think meat is a good pickup, even with its only 0.3 damage, and the extra HP would be helpful, of course, with IV Bag. We're gonna go for the speedball here. Couple of reasons. One is, I think, you know, one speed upgrade is pretty important to most runs. I think it makes dodging a lot easier, and you can tolerate kind of dodging mistakes without getting your ass beat. The other is, of course, this takes us to the point where we're only one syringe away from the spun transformation, and that spun transformation is worth about 7 times the damage upgrade from meat. So I think even though the chance of it is less than guaranteed, which the damage upgrade from meat would be, it still makes sense to shoot for the moon here. I'd rather have the guaranteed, or sorry, I'd rather have the decent chance, yeah, with our rate of fire being okay, shielded tears are not so bad for us here. I'd rather have the chance at, you know, run-changing damage versus a guaranteed, you know, negligible amount of damage. X-ray vision's not good enough here. Eve's Mascara is probably just straight up bad. Yeah, sure, we'll take Odd Mushroom. Rate of fire increase is important now that we have shielded tears, and also, of course, contributes towards Fungi, which is free HP, but mostly I just think that this is a modest DPS improvement at worst. At least in the kind of run where we're not rolling like Dr. Fetus or something like that. So, don't really have too much value there. Puberty is not interesting. Except, you know, from a biological standpoint, I guess puberty is, you know, probably like the most significant change that ever happens to the human body. Is that, well, I mean, I guess birth and death, that's pretty up there too. Maybe the most ridiculous change to the human body you remember. Unless, like, in the future, you have, like, puberty when you're, like, 12 years old, and then when you're 50, they replace all your limbs with sweet-ass, like, robot cybernetic enhancements. Puberty the second, way more metal than puberty the first. I can't wait, man. Keep it coming, Ray Kurzweil. I'm ready for my robot dick. Could probably already get a robot dick if I actually wanted one. Careful what you wish for. Alright, 18 minutes here. Yeah, let's let's give up the ghost when it comes to boss rush. That's not that relevant. Hopefully. But hopefully we do get a deal with the devil here. And again, we do have a Guppy item, so, you know, we're still working on Spun, but Guppy is in the cards for us as well. Guppy way more transformative than Spun actually is. Perthrow. Perthrow is more useful right now, but we should go back for Yera. And we should also stop taking damage, because this is potentially entering a little bit of a vulnerable zone here. Oh, come on, you should be dead. Joker, Two of Hearts. Okay, I mean, it's not the most effective Two of Hearts play, I'll give you that, but I don't think it's run Sundering to just use it to gain a half heart when we're carrying more valuable stuff. Another Spirit Heart is very good, and we'll definitely take a Spirit Heart. Don't care at all about Ventricular Razor. I think we're going to buy the key as well, and with no chance at boss rush, let's just wedge ourselves back here, and we got to donate, like, 2 cents. That's okay. Envy. I would probably give up IV Bag for Shoop to Whoop. I don't see why we wouldn't. But I don't know what the odds of Shoop to Whoop are from a base Envy. Super Envy can pay out with it too, I think. Well, that's just a Troll Bomb. Okay. Ideally... Oh, we can actually make good use of that. Ideally, sweet deal with the devil. Active Guppy item that we then use Perthrow on. Also, the Dice Shard is quite good as well. That gives us HP every time we open a chest. Honestly, the synergy is hard to ignore there. We got 2 Perthrow runes, too. The synergy is hard to ignore there. Between this and Guppy's Tail, and also IV Bag with... Well, I guess we wouldn't have the pennies, or the burnt penny anymore, but still. We don't need any more bombs, probably. We're at 64. We should use 1 Perthrow rune and maybe the crack dice as well on the shop. And then, you know, see where the world takes us from there. Unlimited bombs. I hate this. I think he poisoned himself to death, which I'm pretty thankful for because I was in, like, poop hell there. Definitely Squeezy for the Tears upgrade plus the 2 Spirit Hearts. Deal with the devil. Take Dark Matter. Reroll the other one. It's Book of Sin. I just can't be excited for Book of Sin. It's just not good enough to, like, to care about, really. It doesn't matter whether we take Dice Shard or Perthrow because, to be honest with you, we're mostly on the lookout for stuff that's more valuable. You know, we have the Yera rune we're going to take with us later. So I think just get, like, a bunch of stuff on the floor. Crack the Dice Shard, and then hope that you get... I mean, I'll take the extra Spirit Heart. I don't mind that. Don't take the Tick, if possible. I think we might as well take Piggy Bank. I mean, what else are we going to do with our money? Stud Finder's fairly irrelevant. We get the Tower. Not meaningful, but still. Okay. This was a pretty positive improvement for us. We're still a little bit behind the curve of this run. I mean, we're almost at the amount of time that it took to finish our last run. So that should give you some indication of how this one's going right now, but at least we've gotten more Spirit Hearts. Oh god, it's Rune City. More Perthrow. Well, if I'd known we had more Perthrow, I would have probably not bought the piggy bank, but life goes on. Okay, more runes. Berkano. Berkano's good. Dagaz is fine. These are all, like, great runes to use. Algiz doesn't matter. Yera matters. Yera matters. Perthrow doesn't matter. Perthrow doesn't matter. Okay, so we'll take Yera. Get the hell out of here. And we're still... I mean, Dark Matter's good, and we've increased our rate of fire. We got Shielded Tears. We're still waiting on something to take this run to the next level. Hagalaz. Not what we're looking for, in case that's not abundantly clear. And I guess it's every time you use a key, you have a chance to heal some HP, the locket here, so that was good for us. We'll just go quickly check out our boss trap room. Red chest? Nope. A regular chest does not warrant the use of a key for, or the use of the room for us, I think. Just too much potential damage in there. Now, Yera, presumably we can find something good to do with this. The Hush is not in the cards for us at all, so we should just, like, abandon that. There's no chance. So let's take as much time as we possibly can to get good stuff happening on this floor. We're in this weird state, though, where we don't need money, we don't need keys, we don't really need bombs. All we need is, like, damage. Not even DPS, although, you know, I wouldn't turn up my nose too much at some tiers upgrades, but I really, the D in DPS. I need my damage stat up, I think, as high as possible. I mean, I can drop 70 bombs here before I start to really feel the burn of missing them, but I don't think that's a good long-term solution. Cupid's Arrow is really good at synergizing with shielded tiers, so we do have a substantial advantage there relative to where we were at earlier. And, you know, we're taking out these enemies much more quickly than we otherwise would. Okay. Do not walk into your own fire. That's embarrassing. To get hit by enemy creep is not that bad, but to walk into your own fire is no bueno. The gauze will pop again. And again, like, might as well use IV bag in some situations here, but I'm starting to lose hope for a quick and dirty transformation, because we are on the floor with the mom fight now, so it really at this point all comes down to the shop. Ideal shop, restock and chaos, so we could basically just get any item we want, but the odds of this are fairly low, as you might expect. Sackboy is a huge pickup. It's basically game winning in and of itself. We're really putting a lot of faith in our shop here, but you know, I always put my faith in stores. I'm always like, please have Magic the Gathering booster packs, and then they're like, oh, sorry, we sold out. And I'm like, you know what? This is everything that's wrong with America these days. I say that even though I live in Canada, and they go, you know it's Canada, right? And I go, yeah, what's it to you? North America. It doesn't go over well, but I think it gets my point across, which is I get banned from the store. Small rock, please. Okay, golden chest could be even, you know what? That's pretty good. We got Steven and Little Steven. That gives us the Steven transformation. We turned into Shia LaBeouf from the television show Even Stevens. And Peeper's Eye turns into Christy Carlson Romano. Okay, I appreciate that. More HP. I hope you appreciated the Even Stevens reference. I know my target audience, people that are 1 to 2 years older than I am. Or sorry, 1 to 2 years younger than I am. I was a little too old for Even Stevens, but I was basically in the wheelhouse. When people talk, they try to meme on me. They say, hey, how do you feel about Corey in the house? I go, yeah, well, I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you. I get it. It's one of the top 10 animes of all time. Ha ha ha, it's not really an anime. Yeah, I wasn't of the age, so I don't understand what you're getting at here. Well, we're gonna go fight Mom, and are you actually kidding me? We're gonna hope for a deal with the devil that, honestly, we may not deserve. But we're gonna hope for it regardless. We're gonna face Blue Mom. Now listen up, here's a story about a little mom who lived in a blue world. And all day and all night, and all the kids she has are just blue like her. 'Cause there's a huge genetic correspondence and correlation with the blue gene. And you pass it on to your kids and yourself and maybe even your... Okay, this is just stupid. No deal with the devil. Polaroid, we can stay in permanent Polaroid invincibility pretty easily here. Sometimes people ask me, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, colleagues ask me, they say, how are you able to keep that train of thought running for, you know, 50 minutes at a time, several times a day? The answer, actually, is that you just have to realize that even horrible commentary can be good if you put the right spin on it. Like, that blue bit was absolute shit. There's this expression, you know, it is better to remain a fool than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt. And I believe that that expression is true when it comes to, you know, an intellectual debate, for example. If you don't know what you're talking about, I think it's better to keep your mouth shut and seem like you know nothing than to, you know, insert yourself into the debate and prove that you know nothing, and everyone's going to look down on you. However, when it comes to the kind of videos that I produce, the exact opposite is true. It's best to ignore that. It is better to remove all doubt and open one's mouth at every available opportunity, as opposed to just, you know, sitting there silently being like, I don't know. So really, I think it's just, I give myself permission to say stupid things in videos, and I think that's really what you have to do if you're going to sustain the kind of momentum that I like to throw out in these videos here. I'm not saying that I produce the world's most entertaining content. Probably that right now is going to the Netflix original series Stranger Things that I'm presently enamored with. But at the same time, I would... If you're trying, you're asking yourself, how does NL come up with this bullshit all the time? The answer is, if you make a bad bit, as long as you don't do like 15 in a row, no one's going to remember. No one's going to care. If you make a, 3 or 4 good jokes off the cuff per episode, people oftentimes leave the episode going, that guy's pretty funny. I don't know how it happens, you just got to let yourself go with it. Much like the Adam Sandler film of the same name. Millie Battison. This is a much better name for Adam Sandler, isn't it? Millie Battison. Because all of his movies have made him, a millionaire, and they're bad. Son. Dun 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 dun. Okay, well, we'll take the tears up and the shot speed down, and we'll head down to the next floor. Still kind of like at a loss for where the breaking point on this run is going to be. Either we or the run has to give up at some point. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good, but it's only going to take a little bit of sustained failure for me to feel a lot worse about this run. But honestly, oh, that was stupid. Honestly, our damage is actually, pretty okay. Our DPS, that is actually pretty okay. This room can suck on my DPS. Please don't. That was a postscript, not an anagram, not an acronym. Acronym, that's what I meant to say. Dan Acronym, my favorite actor from the original Ghostbusters. Favorite actor from the new Ghostbusters? Who plays Slimer? Don't say Melissa McCarthy, that's extremely rude. Pop up, okay. What do we got going on here? Let's get off that Ghostbusters topic. It's an incendiary issue on the internet right now. Okay, that was poor damage. I do think we have the wherewithal to go into our cursed room here. One guppy item would make my dreams come true, like a montage from a 2008 romantic comedy starring Zooey Deschanel and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Appreciate the HP. Appreciate it. It's okay, we still got back to full HP regardless. Well, we're still we're treading water at least, and that's not a bad thing to be treading water at this point. It's better than drowning. And we fairly easily could have been drowning. I honestly feel like we're doing pretty well with Mom's Locket. Sure, Child's Heart could give us more red hearts, but I don't know. I kind of think it's fine. Oh, God. I've lost track of some of them. Ansus? Hagalaz? Ansus. Dagaz. Dagaz is very important here. Awaz. Okay. I don't think we open it. I think we take Yera, and we get the heck out of here. Next is the Cathedral, so we're not in a rush for keys. Amazing! I actually mean this as amazingly. First off, amazingly our tears do 69 damage, so ha ha ha, thank you very much for that. But also, amazingly, we did almost make the Hush fight, which is a real surprise given that for a lot of this run, I mean, we made it to boss rush at 26 minutes. So, I mean, we made it to where boss rush would have been at 26 minutes. So this is a real surprise to me that we managed to swing this. And honestly, Krampus is fine here. I think I would be okay with getting rid of IV Bag at this point in my life. So if you want to give me Krampus's head, that's fine. If you wanna be with me, you can give me Krampus' head. I'm surprisingly not picky. I'm just happy I'm not dead. Add 1 to the pretty good bits count for this episode so far. Cathedral, okay. We don't want to spend keys at this point. Certainly, I am in the mood to skip through some of these rooms, but I kind of want to see what's going on with, ooh, lucky us, Balls of Steel is stand right there. I kind of want to see what's going on with this boss trap room, mob trap room. I mean, it is a boss trap room at this point. In function, at least. Keys, please. Spirit Hearts, also fine. Almost opened that by accident, so I'm glad we didn't, because obviously the Yera rune is of pretty big importance right now. This room, in hindsight, there was absolutely no reason for us to go to it. I can't believe the run where we get 70 bombs is the run where we have no bomb synergies. Every other run we ever have gets like Mr. Mega, Bob's Curse, like bomb synergies coming out of our butts. Thought I was hearing something. Might just be cats. Oh, you know what it is? It's the washer. It's entering the spin cycle. It scared the shit out of me. It sounded like somebody was trapped in my wall. All right. Just nuke this guy. Have we gotten small rock on this run? I keep asking for it, but we may have already gotten it. It seems like this is a lot of tinted rocks to open without finding small rock. Please. Why are the feet health bars separate from your actual health bar? We do have small rock. Okay, so all those times I asked for it was certainly in vain. Don't forget the Yara. Don't forget the Yara. That's not me making fun of people with speech impediments. You'll hear me stutter on occasion. You know, it's the danger of it coming off the top of the dome piece. That was instead a reference to Public Enemy's magnum opus. Don't believe the hype. But on this run, there's no hype to believe. It's just like, it's a pretty bad run, all things considered. It's a bad run that is, you know, stayed afloat. I think Shielded Tears has done some great stuff for us. And apart from that, beats me, man. Just a really nice rate of fire, at least, is keeping us in here. Okay, that was actually terrible damage. But I don't know. I think we've kind of outplayed, outlasted, and outloved. Much like Dan Giesling on the television program Big Brother. We've gotten ourselves into this position where pretty much, unless we really sustain some terrible damage, we should be okay for maybe forever on this run. Wouldn't mind, though, if you would find it in your heart to maybe give me 2 more guppy items, for example, which I know is not going to happen, but, you know, maybe you could still find it in your heart to give me, like, some kind of damage increase. I'm not going to be too picky about it. I should have taken that rune because it could have been the Gaz. Hopefully we'll get to a point where it doesn't matter. No curse here. Let's open up these chests. Okay. Little Chad does basically nothing for us. Little Gish is okay. The virus is very good and does give us spun. And we'll take the health upgrade. And then also Polyphemus. So I'd say this was a very, very nice chest for us. But the first 2 items ended up being terrible, or at least not very good. The fact that we're able to swing it around with a Polyphemus get and the spun transformation is huge. So honestly, for all my complaining, we're actually like completely in the clear now. The virus also allows us to give ourselves some black hearts, at least on occasion. At this point, we're hoping for an Onsus rune, maybe. Might as well take that. We got Krampus's head. Second secret room's down here. Please, bombs are key, Pill. Bombs are key. I don't know why I was so excited to use Krampus's head on that room, when actually, like, Krampus's head versus Greed makes no sense, considering we're going to encounter, like, a lot of rooms that are Greed plus several other mini-bosses. I did use Algiz here, and that's because, you know, as much as I said, like, I have nothing to complain about anymore, my damage is pretty good. It is pretty good, but it's not good enough to just crush the gate here easily, which is still, admittedly, somewhat embarrassing. Burkano is fine. Nothing more than fine, but it's still, you know, far from the worst thing we could have. Pisces for a Tears upgrade. I don't think the knockback is an appreciably, you know, bad disadvantage to have right now, so I'm fine with that. Walked right into that enemy. Or, you know what? Give myself some credit. I think I walked into the tier instead of walking into the enemy. Try to get as many multi-dimensional baby shots out of this as possible. What a shit run. I'm not afraid to say it, okay? Sometimes you ball out of control on a run, and sometimes the run balls you out of control. And we're definitely in that position right now, where, for the most part, we just never really started popping off here. In the end, certainly seems like we're going to basically get out of it just fine regardless, but a bit of a bummer. I think it's okay to use 1d4 roll. So we got Beelzebub, we got Tech Point 5. This actually seems pretty terrible, but we have Cursed Eye, Ipecac. Alright, this is fine. I mean, the Tech Point 5 shots are actually wrecking face right now. Oh, we have Taurus as well. I was like, no wonder we feel so slow. We'll take Shoop de Whoop in. I'm not even going to use my tiers for this. I'm just going to roll with it as is. The D4 roll ended up being fine. Let's get the heck out of here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.